So, welcome back to Matt's Coins. What a hunt that turned out to be. Before we have a look at things like varieties and errors and die cracks and stuff like that, I just want to quickly show you the penny survey I did during this hunt. So here we are in Excel. I did a count of the pennies and the half pennies and varieties that exist and were found in this particular hunt. And all the varieties are not actually mentioned on here just yet, but as they are found, they will be inputted in future hunts. So the oldest penny that we found was one from 1860, and we found most years right the way through to 1967. So 1962 was a common year with 61 found. 1945 we had 31. In total, there was 31 Victorian, 65 Edwardian, 223 from George V, 133 from George VI, and 199 from Elizabeth II. So, looking at the halfpennies, the oldest one there was 1870, the oldest being 1967 again. Common years, 1959, 1957 roughly, that's a good one to have a look at. We found 38 in total. Only one was the Calm Sea varieties, bit on that later on in this particular video. 1944, another common year, is 61. In terms of totals, Victoria 8, Edward VII 8, King George V 78, King George VI 356, and Queen Elizabeth II with 364 coins, giving us 814 halfpennies in total. So in terms of my own collection, as will be seen later, this was definitely two lots worth getting hold of. So let's have a look at the 1899 penny. What I'm going to show you here is two date widths. One is actually slightly wider than the other. What you've got to look at is the position of the 9 compared to the teeth. And when we look at the images there, you can see where they are both different. Now look at this 1899 coin. Look how the inner part of the 9 appears to be connecting back into itself. Most definitely a bit of die cracking going on there. Another little minor variety. Take a look at the zeros in these two coins. You'll see that the one is actually slightly bigger than the other. Just look at the distance between the top of the O and the exerg line. Now we're on to my favourite thing, the die cracking. First of all, this 1941 halfpenny. You can see the cracks there. This is a 1942 halfpenny with a nice little die crack there between the H and the A. And also a second coin which has got this crack from the G to the rim. This is a 1950 halfpenny showing some crack in there. 1939 penny. This has got a few places where the crack is present. And I was pointing out where you can actually see these on this particular coin. And it goes on to just beyond the colon there. On this 1940 penny, the cracking is very slight and almost hard to detect. 1946 penny next, and again a few areas where we can see this right across the top, the middle of the E there, and all the way into the N. 1947 one penny, and again across the N. This 1962 halfpenny is showing some nice doubling, more than likely and more than certainly machine doubling in my opinion. And coincidentally, this next coin is a 1962, but this time it's a penny. And again, you can see what appears to be that machine doubling. This is a second example. Let me know what you think in the comments, machine doubling or actual doubling. So this is a 1959 number of 1959 half pennies. all showing what is called the short rope minor variety. Now this does affect many different dates within the Elizabethan or the Elizabeth II era, but it's just a good example over these 5 coins showing the progression of this particular feature. This next one is found on pennies from Elizabeth II's era. This is called the short plume. So this is the short on the screen, and if we now merge over to normal, you can see that the plume is almost touching the shoulder of Britannia there. This happens on various dates between 1961 and 1967. 1957 halfpenny here. There are slight signs of doubling on the T, very difficult to see in that particular image, but it is there, and very, very minor, and definitely machine doubling. Okay, major varieties time now, and hands up if you spotted this one when I was going through the main hunt, because I didn't. It was only when going through the coins afterwards that I discovered a 1915 recessed ear. Of course, when we're looking for this variety, we're always looking for that broken tooth above the colons indicated on the screen there. But as you can see, if you look around the ear, that ear is recessed, and it was only when I was handling the coin that I actually spotted it. And when we look at it zoomed in, you can definitely see it's recessed. And that tooth, at first glance, is not broken. So this is one of the earlier coins from that particular variety. And there we go, zoom in. It's partially broken, but to the naked eye, you're never going to see that. Always check that ear as well, folks. And I'm sure looking at these 2 images side by side, you can definitely make out which one is the recessed ear and which one isn't. Okay, we've got the 1958 halfpenny here. A difficult year to look at the varieties, and there are 3 varieties as scrolling through the screen now, but you're looking out at the thickness of the border compared to the teeth. So David Groom describes reverse E as having shorter border teeth, thicker rim, straighter teeth, teeth much shorter than the rim. Reverse F having long border teeth, a narrow rim, a barrel shaped teeth, and the teeth slightly longer than the rim. And reverse G, which has shorter border teeth, slightly thicker rim, straight teeth, teeth less than the rim. The only way I was able to actually differentiate these varieties was to actually put a piece of tape on my screen, have the microscope set up, and mark the positions of each feature and compare them. It took ages to find these 3. 1954 halfpenny now, and 2 varieties, reverse A, reverse B. Reverse A is on the left as you're looking at your picture. Simplest way to differentiate them, look at the rim. Reverse B has got a slightly thicker rim than reverse A. But if you need any confirmation, take a look at the L in halfpenny. On reverse A, it's to a tooth. In reverse B, it's to a gap. 1921 penny now, with obverse 3 and obverse 2. Obverse 2 is the lower one, obverse 3 is the top one. Just look for the distance between the A and the B, really. 1908 penny here now. 2 of the 3 varieties are on the screen. We've got obverse 1 and obverse 2. There is a 3rd variety for this particular date, but I'll go into that in a bit more detail in a future video. In terms of the collection, the Whitman albums have seen some quite nice upgrades. Where we've got your 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 halfpennies and a penny have either been added or upgraded. I think there was 2 additions to the halfpenny album. And you can see the obverses there, that 1911 being a pretty nice example. Not an upgrade for my own albums, because I found better in a previous hunt. In terms of my own album, what did we get? I think we got 4 editions and the rest are upgrades on the halfpennies. The biggest upgrade, of course, on the penny side of it was the 1918 Heaton. Very nice coin. And also this 1910 Edward VII penny being another notable upgrade. And overall, in this second part of the hunt, 5 non-British coins being upgraded. Thoughts on this particular hunt? I think this just typifies why I hunt through job lots of bronze. You just never know what you'll find in amongst those coins. Previous hunt, it was those 5 halfpennies. In this hunt, a 1918 Heaton. I never thought I'd ever see a 1918 Heaton in such a good condition actually in my own collection. So yeah, this hunt was, as far as I'm concerned, absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait for the next one. But on that note, I'd like to say thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this series of videos. Please drop me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one.